So when you look at it, Big Juke passed away, right? Rest in peace. He lost his life in this war, this situation, all of this drama. You got the dude Justin, already convicted, serving the rest of his life behind bars, right? You got what Smith on the stand right now telling on, he already told on Justin, right? And now he's telling on Govan. And as per Govan, cooked, done, over. It's not about guilty, not guilty. I just want to see how much time he gets hit with, right? And all of these people, and then of course when you include Young Dolph, we can't take it easy on Big Jook either, right? Allegedly, but you can't take it easy on him. Can't look at Govan with any sympathy if he's the one that allegedly proxied and took the 100 grand from Big Jook and then went and grabbed the two shooters and said, "Hey, I got y'all. Let's go ahead, catch one of them niggas," and y'all happen to get Young Dolph, and then of course the two shooters. And the two shooters, the whole story continues to unfold as if it didn't even matter if it was Young Dolph, as if they didn't have anything personal at all. But that's the point of a hired hitman, right? But I think we came up thinking that there was a big difference between a hitman and a crash out, especially today's world. We know the difference between a crash out. First, if you're up there, like the dude Smith telling the way that you are, like that you just crashed. Somebody just gave you some money to do something and you need the bread. The other guy, Pillhead, Justin, who's already convicted, he is looking for a record deal. Y'all are just looking for y'all routes through life. So we can't turn around and have any sympathy. We when they say, listen, life, throw away the key. We're not supposed to sit up here and be like, damn, free him. That's a nasty thing that we do. We gotta break that fucking cycle. Free the man, free that man, never wish jail. Why? The man was in a cookie store, chilling, minding his business, and two people that he probably never met a day in his life. Did you see the autopsy breakdown or that video that's going around of the girl that's talking about all the shots and she's going through the pictures? Okay, tell us about exhibit one. This is where he was hitting his liver. Tell about exhibit two. This is where he was hitting his face. Tell about the next slot. This is where he hit his arms and his chest and his back. And it looked like he got hit like over 30 times or some shit. That's how they did that, man. Sympathy. Why? Y'all got kids out there in these streets, right? You want to go through this type of shit? Nah. So they're already cooked, and I ain't mad at all at it. All right. So we're gonna look at some of the recent testimony to come out. I want to take a look also at some of the witnesses that recently took the stand. People talking about some of the phone calls that was made. They're done. And then I want to close out that with some of the prosecution's closing statements, just to see how the prosecution is really just delivering to the jury and saying, listen, these are our people. We have the right people here in custody. And yeah, go ahead and go back there, deliberate and convict. All right. After that, what we got in the thumbnail? You see, I got Jay-Z in the thumbnail. Rivera continues to have his interview rolled out on the Art of Dialogue. Shout out to the Art of Dialogue platform. Amazing content up there. You guys get some great guests. He's talking about the Dame Dash and Jay-Z dynamic. I want to pull that up. I want to see if he's going to keep it 1,000 and also see that he's talking about allegedly when Jay-Z stabbed him. Should I say allegedly for that? I don't even know, because when we get to that point in the interview, I skimmed it and even he seems reserved, like legally reserved when he gets to that topic. Right. So I don't know. We'll check that out together. But then I'm going to pull up something about Dame and want to ask y'all, is this the point of no return? Because there's a clip that I saw recently from Memphis Bleak on Drink Champs, and Nori asked him, do you think Dame and Jay could ever talk again? And not Dame, Memphis Bleak said no. He said no, there's points of no return, there's lines that was crossed, and I'm going to go to one of them that I think is real big, even though watching the way that Jay played that distance from Dame, I feel like they made up their minds on each other long time ago. But I still want to show y'all something that I think is key. Y'all see Tyler Perry in the thumbnail. All right, so this is the year of lawsuits. Monique continues to keep her foot on Tyler Perry's neck, talking about that he owes her and her family possibly millions of dollars in losses from her career. I want to rehash that story briefly, and then I want to see how y'all feel if maybe Tyler Perry does owe her some type of compensation. Okay, we'll go there. What else do we got? What's going on with Target? We'll touch on that briefly. I got some sports news real quick. All right, let's get going. Let's kick it off. Let me bring up the some of the last trial days for Govan and see what they're talking about in the news.
First at 5 on your news leader, the fate of 45-year-old Hernandez Govan, the man accused of being the facilitator in Young Dolph's death, may soon be in the hands of the jury. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Hirsch. Stephanie is off tonight. Prosecutors say Govan is the link between the two shooters who killed Young Dolph at a Memphis cookie shop and the man who ordered the $100,000 hit, Anthony Big Jook Mills. WREG Shay Arthur has been at the courthouse for the entirety of the trial. And Shay, what's going on now?
Greg, those closing arguments are wrapping up as we speak. It's intense closing arguments, I have to say as well. At times, it's actually felt a bit personal, the defense going as far as saying this whole county, meaning Shelby County, is, quote, an embarrassment. As he says, Govan is the fall guy in this case. Now, the prosecution, in a rebuttal, she straight up told the jury, are you kidding me? This case is about Govan getting involved in a conspiracy. A Shelby County prosecutor telling the jury today the murder of Adolph Thornton, known as Young Dolph, wasn't just the death of a well-known rapper. He was a person whose life was marked with artistry and community. She detailed testimony from Cornelia Smith, who says Govan solicited him to kill Young Dolph, how Govan told him the highest bounty was for Dolph's death, that Govan gave him a gun, that moments after the murder, they ditched the white Mercedes used in that murder across the street from Govan's home, also detailing a run-in they had following Dolph's death.
He told Smith, I'm going to go to...
The shooter set Govan up, son. Govan said, yo, I need something handled. They said, all right, cool. Give us the gun. How much are we going to get paid? They work all that shit out. They go do the deed, the disgusting deed. And then they get rid of the fucking car that they did it in across the street from Govan. Here's your car that we use in case you want it. Y'all got it.
I'm going to make sure you get your money. Well, of course he wanted to make sure that Cornelius got his money because he had previously asked for a $10,000 cut. He wanted his money too. Angela Arnold told you the same thing.
She also went over the phone records from November 17th, 2021, the day of the homicide, with 17 communications between Govan and Smith and 15 communications between Govan and Justin Johnson, who has already been convicted of Young Dolph's death. But Govan's defense attorney took a fiery, angry approach, telling the jury it's time for Hernandez Govan not to be marginalized anymore.
You should be embarrassed that this is the person you voted for that brings this type of case. Just embarrassed. Many of you said you had a problem with the criminal justice system because too many people go free or they get burned. What they don't tell you, what the government doesn't tell you, and the press doesn't cover, is this is what happens when you don't have an advocate that knows what the hell they're doing, checks all the records, fights for you, and shows you that he didn't do it. That's just another black man that is of no value from Orange Mountain.
Calling one of the investigators who testified a liar and evil, saying nothing, Smith says, should be believed, telling the jury, quote, none of you would buy a pack of gum based on the word of Cornelia Smith. Yeah, and Greg, he also went on there to call.
Yo, this is not the second time I've seen that. I didn't watch the whole trial, like from start of day to end of day, nothing like that, and nowhere near as detailed as we did the Diddy case, right? But this is the second time I'm watching this defense attorney. I'm just like, he doesn't seem too good, but what are you really up there to do? You're up there to try to get the best turnout for your client. Like, you know, this fucking guy is cooked. You sit in the courthouse for a living every fucking day. You know the law. Like, you see the evidence against it. I hope you do, right? You see all the witnesses, right? Like, you know, it's uphill battle isn't even saying enough, but his fucking little counters for the court is like, oh, really? He tried to pull the black card. He should have got a black lawyer to play the black card or some shit, or a white lawyer to play the black card, right? I don't know, but I want to hear some of the witnesses as well. People continuing to say that yeah, this money and this exchange and people aware of the transactions. Yeah, it's not good, buddy.
State prosecutors called to the stand a woman who said she was the girlfriend of Cornelius Smith, who he called after the ambush on Young Dolph. The witness rocked in her chair while on the stand, recalling the killing as a murder for hire, although she was not sure of the dollar amount being offered.
It was between $1 million and 1.5.
But what she did know is the person she understood as ordering the hit was Anthony Big Juk Mims, someone her boyfriend did not talk to, instead going through Govan, who she says was the go-between person.
They said he would talk to Govan, send a message through him, and he would get a message to Juk, and Juk would talk to Govan.
Defense attorney Manuel.
All right, so you clearly put Juk and Govan in the middle of that. But one thing I want to go back for a second, though. Did y'all hear that? 1 million and 1.5. Let me go back for a second. Because it is very possible that this whole thing, I don't want to say fell apart, because I don't know how well of a job the detectives did to hunt these shooters down. But they are telling on each other. And some of that is about money. We see that, right? Like, I'm only getting paid this, so I feel like I took a short. What is this 1 million or 1.5? It's been 100 grand this whole time. Does somebody feel like they got shorted?
After the ambush on Young Dolph, the witness rocked in her chair while on the stand, recalling the killing as a murder for hire, although she was not sure of the dollar amount being offered.
It was between $1 million and 1.5.
But what she did know is the person she understood as ordering the hit was Anthony Big Juk Mims, someone her boyfriend did not talk to, instead going through Govan, who she says was the go-between person.
They said he would talk to Govan, send a message through him, and he would get a message to Juk, and Juk would talk to Govan.
Defense attorney Manuel Rohr, during cross-examination, noticed her reluctance.
It's clear you don't want to be here today, do you?
No, I don't.
Pressed on, questioning her memory from an interview she did with investigators.
The police have to ask you over and over and over again and tell you, was it a guy with the initial Q, right, on Bradley Street?
Yeah, but I forgot his name.
Okay, so you forgot his name 1 month after that, and 4 years later, you remember it perfectly.
He then questioned her credibility.
You're sure about that? Because I'm going to play a video just now, so I'm going to ask you again.
I can't recall.
Okay, well, no is different from I can't recall.
I can't recall.
An hour later, she was dismissed. Also taking to the stand was Sergeant Terrence Dabney, who identified himself as a lead in the case. He's really sort of walking the jurors through the investigation. Of course, our Team 3 coverage continues throughout the day and online. Reporting for your...
Yo, how many times are we going to continue to see and break down the whole angle towards credibility? Sometimes it makes a lot of sense. If you got ASAP Rocky out there on your stand, go ahead and spend 48 hours of the trial just going after him and proving out his Instagram and how much of a fucked up, lame, lying, cornball ass, opportunist ass nigga that he is. You know what I'm saying? Bit short point like ASAP Rocky. But if you got a girl, like, how did this girl even get involved? So she's the girlfriend, right? So maybe some text messages, they grab her, they throw her in a box, lean on her. She's a civilian, don't want nothing to do with nothing. Hey, your boyfriend allegedly, boom, 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 boom. Who is this? Oh, all I know, he spoke to Big Juk. No, it's supposed to be coming from him. I heard something about $1 million and Govan was supposed to do it or whatever. That's all I know. Cool. She forgets her name. 4 years later, she knows the name again. Maybe the police reminded her the name. Like, if that's all you got, lawyer, like, your defendant, your client is done. If that's all you got, that's your defense to go after her. Like, how did you remember the name? Like, I remember the name because let's keep it real. Like, I've been interviewed multiple times. Okay, the prosecution got to me. Like, I'm a witness. Duh. Yeah, that nigga is just as cooked as his client. All right, let's look a little bit at the not alleged shooter, right? Well, one of the shooters and what he's up there saying. I remember, y'all, he's even negotiated to not have his face shown. He's like, yo, if you're gonna use me on that stand, can we get everything from the neck down, you know, on some camp shit? Because when I come home, I'm still gonna be the man. Like, all right. Wonder how much he's gonna get. What do we got here? Young Dolph's sister and admitted killer. All right, so I don't need to say allegedly. Admitted killer take the stand in rapper's second murder trial. Yeah, he's admitted as well because that's all part of his deal, right? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, is YSL a gang? Yes, ma'am. Right.
Okay. At any point, did he mention paying you your money?
Not right then. He was just saying that, he was gonna give me my money. Right?
When was he saying this?
He been said it like in pressure word, like, all right, we're gonna get that money, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically.
And I'm not sure if we mentioned this before, was Mr. Govan to get a cut of the money?
Yes, ma'am, I supposed to give him 10,000 at my cut.
Okay, was Justice.
And he told me just supposed to give him 10,000 as well, so I agree with the 10,000 cut.
10,000.
Because he put me on the league, like, I had you to do this, so give me a cut of it. So I'm like, all right, I agree with you.
Okay. At any point, did he mention paying you your money?
Not right then. He was just saying that, he was gonna give me my money. Right?
When was he saying this?
He been said it like in pressure word, like, all right, we're gonna get that money, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically.
And I'm not sure if we mentioned this before, was Mr. Govan to get a cut of the money?
Yes, ma'am, I supposed to give him 10,000 at my cut.
Okay, was Justice.
And he told me just supposed to give him 10,000 as well, so I agree with the 10,000 cut. Because he put me on the league, like, I had you to do this, so give me a cut of it. So I'm like, all right, I agree with you.
If you have one of the shooters, if you got him on, let's say, DNA, evidence, ballistics, whatever, and he's admitting to this shit, you know what the attorney's going to come out after the prosecution here and say, so you took a deal. Yes. And if you don't talk here, you're going to go back and serve, more time than you would if you didn't take a deal. Yeah. So you're probably not credible then, right? Like, what the fuck do you want here? The guy's sitting here like, yeah, I decided to take a 10 and Justin was going to take a 10. And I figured you put me onto the lick. So 10 is good for me. And those people don't belong on the street, man. Really don't. Now, normally the mastermind gets more time and is looked at more severely, right? I don't. I look at all y'all the same. The person that planned it and the person that's willing to crash and just run up on the fucking store and lit off 50 shots is just as reckless and dangerous to us and our kids in this world. I want to see them both off the street. Yes, this is the Sorry is True podcast, people. A podcast where the host of the platform doesn't follow these typical nasty ass cliches that put us all in the worst situations possible. All that I don't wish jail on my worst enemy, that goes out the window over here. Don't worry about where and how I grew up. Those are cliches that tear down our communities. I shall not follow them. Put them in jail. Quick. Let's look at some of the closing statements. All right. I feel like this is an alley-oop for the prosecution, right? How do you fumble this? But let's see some of the strong angles. And this is like 35 minutes, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. We might skim some of this real quick. But let's see if we can catch some of the highlights.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So earlier this week, you heard me talk about choices. And I warned you, you would hear a lot of evidence. You would hear a lot of voices, you would see a lot of footage, hear a lot of names. But I also told you, if you'll remember, that the name that you needed to focus on and the name that you needed to remember is Hernandez Govan. But most importantly, I told you needed to focus on the consequences of his choices. Hernandez Govan and the consequences of his choices. And the consequences. What were those consequences? Violence, death, and loss. And not just the violent death of a famous music artist, but the violent death of a human being, a person, someone whose life was marked with artistry, community, entrepreneurship. So let's take one last look at how that life ended.
She got something up there on the screen. I'm gonna play that footage one last time. Yep. Let's go, Van. Watch that one more time. Let you see what you sent. Mm-hmm. That science not gonna help you, dude. Not gonna help. It's not gonna help. That little reaction right there, man. Oh, he took a deep swallow. Y'all saw that? Uh-huh. That's what you hired, huh? That's what you sent? Mannerism. I wonder, did they force Diddy to watch the casket video in the hotel? I know the jurors saw it. Yeah, because there was always a screen and microphones in front of Diddy, right? Like, we want to see your reaction to watching your own shit. Like, oh my God, that's me. Yeah, that's you, motherfucker.
A life, ladies and gentlemen. But before I get into how much we've heard this week and what exactly we've heard this week, let's talk about the law and let's talk about what the judge instructed you. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. That's the first count. Mm-hmm. In order for there to be a conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, there has to be four things. There has to be an agreement with one or more people to commit the offense of first-degree murder. There has to be, or number two, each of the parties to the conspiracy had the intent to commit the first-degree murder. 3, each party acting for the purpose of promoting or facilitating the commission of the offense of the first-degree murder agreed that one or more of them would engage in the conduct which constitutes the first-degree murder. And 4, one of the parties to the conspiracy committed an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. The two important things about this charge is an agreement and an overt act. And in the jury instructions, you heard that an overt act is done by one or more of the parties in order to carry out the intent of the conspiracy. And it must be a step toward the execution of the conspiracy. In first-degree murder cases, often enough, the overt act is the murder. Count number 2, first-degree murder. A definition of first-degree murder is the premeditated killing of another. Number 1, someone unlawfully killed the victim. 2, they acted intentionally. And 3, the killing was premeditated. You heard in the jury instruction that in order for there to be intent, there has to be a conscious objective or a desire.
Let me pull that back up. Shout out to Tay Smith from the chat. Says, this whole situation, no one is a saint. These idiots told on theyself. Dolph was doing shit too, and Gotti lost a brother. So if Young Dolph was sitting in that chair that Govan was in right now, and like let's say Yo Gotti or you know a CMG artist was gone, I would be keeping that same energy. I would. I'm not for the ignorance, B. I'm out here. I care about my life. I got friends and family out here. We got kids and godchildren, nieces and nephews out here. I'm not for it. I'm not for it. You know what I'm saying? So I never took nobody life. So I could talk like this. You know, like none of us were angels in the past, right? But you grow and you look at this shit, and it's like part of our problem as a community is we endorse it a little bit too much. And if we don't come down on it, then we're quiet. And sometimes our quiet or our silence is just as strong. It's like we don't condemn it. I tell an example all the time that just continues to carry with me, and it bothers me to this day. The night that King Von was shot, right? Now, everybody that knows me on this channel knows me mostly from battle rap, right? Some of y'all met me from podcasting, but if you met me from podcasting, I have a very, very deep background in the battle rap world, battle rap culture, battle rap industry. The night King Von was shot and died, right? I was on Twitter on my timeline, which is flooded with a lot of battle rap people and some of the biggest names in battle rap, and I won't say their names right now. But I will never forget how much I was watching my timeline of how turned up a lot of people from the battle rap community was, because the initial reports were that a cop killed King Von. Because those police scanner audio videos started going out. of them hitting each other up in Chicago saying, you know, unit XYZ, unit 2022-4. Be careful if you're driving around Old Block, you know, have extra backup with you, whatever, because King Von in Atlanta was shot and you never know if things get active over there. Watch your back. And so everybody was like, oh, the cops killed it. And the people's ready to march with their fucking picket signs. People was turned up. It was so mad. A cop possibly killed King Von. And the moment that video came out and we saw, no. You see Lil Tim get out that car, point, aim, shoot, boom. Von gets hit. His legs go out from underneath him while he's still holding on to Quando. And it's like, no. There's another black man that shot him. It was silence. I didn't see no outrage. I didn't see nobody upset about the black on black crime, the ignorance, the throwing of the punch, the shooting, the ongoing beef, the tweets, the Instagram posts, the music songs, all the shit that led up to that. Nobody batted a fucking eye. Everybody calmed down all of a sudden. And that shit, I just watch shit like that from the outside looking in and just be like, we wrong. We supposed to be just as loud at the things that we should learn from. Like, why should I be mute about black on black crime if it's something that I would want to stop? But we numb to it and we just be like, oh, it's some hood shit. It's okay because that's a blood and that's a Crip. So it's okay. It's supposed to happen. No, it's not. It's not supposed to happen. When do we break that mentality? When do we break it? So I say all that to say, y'all could definitely look at me and best believe a comment like this, if it was Dolph sitting in that chair that sent that hit and it was ESTG or fucking Black Youngster, you know what I'm saying, that was dead because of these hitmen, and we saw that video at the cookie store, I would have the same energy because it's still the same ignorance and crime and people losing their lives over shit that we deem, like, if we look at the beginnings of some of this shit and be like, really? Competition, money, a girl, a diss video, a song. Next thing you know, fucking Young Dolph is dropping songs called 100 Shots because his whole fucking truck is getting sprayed. The origins of this shit just doesn't seem like it needs to be. This is the world that we live in. I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. I know people lose their lives for less, way less than 10 grand too. 10 grand to some hitman is a fucking platinum. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't no, to some people, 10 grand? What? Oh, I'm going for that. And a possible record deal? Let's go. Green light. I'm not naive, right? Doesn't change the fact that the shit is disgusting. We should all want to see this shit stop. Will I see it stop in my lifetime? No. I'm not. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm not gonna see this shit stop in my lifetime, right? We're not gonna get 10 Malcolm X's and 10 Martin Luther Kings step up to the forefront all at the same time within this generation and make us all look a certain way and look up and say, it's time. No, that's not gonna fucking happen in my lifetime. But while I'm here, I'm still gonna speak how I feel. So good comment, Tay Smith. But I would keep the same energy as the point.
You also heard about criminal responsibility. Criminal responsibility, that basically means that you don't have to be the person that pulls the trigger in order to be responsible for the first-degree murder. The jury instructions say that criminal responsibility is when someone acts with the intent to promote or assist the commission of the offense or to benefit from the proceeds or results of the offense. The defendant acts, solicits, directs, aids, or attempts to aid another person to commit the offense. Further, they don't have to be present when the offense is taking place. Encouragement of the offense is enough. So let's talk about what we heard this week. We heard first from Erica Thornton.
Nigga said encouragement. Imagine getting a text message. Hey, I'll be home late tonight. I got to go do a drill. And then you text back, good luck. That text back of good luck, you could be called the encouragement. It might sound like I stretched that, but I'm just saying. Ladies, if you get a text from your man saying I'll be home late, I gotta go run this drill, don't text nothing back. And if you want to stay your ass out of jail, you might want to put on record a text message saying, wait, what? Don't do anything crazy, please come home now. The encouragement could get you locked up. Wow.
She told you that she is the victim's sister. They were close. And the last time that she saw him was on FaceTime. The next thing she hears that her brother was taken from her. She told you about the person that she knew, the brother that she had, and the life that was lost. A life, ladies and gentlemen. We also heard from Raul Hopkins. He told you that he had been employed with Mr. Thornton for years as a security. He explained to you the tension between PRE and CMG. And he explained to you that CMG wanted Thornton to sign with them, but he didn't. And because of that, there's the tension. He talked about diss tracks. He talked about various acts of violence committed on Thornton. And he told you about CMG and their connections. Well, as you've heard from the testimony this week, Hernandez Govan is affiliated with CMG. He has connections within CMG. He, or CMG, was in direct conflict with Thornton and the life and the legacy that he built. Govan had an end.
Will she say Yo Gotti? It's like me listening to this is like, imagine somebody saying like this was court and it was RBE, 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 RBE instead of CMG. Who you gonna think about? Like, I'm not on trial, man, but you're gonna think like, yo, ARP might be in trouble. It's like RBE, RBE, RBE. Damn, Yo Gotti, CMG, CMG, CMG. And that's why I asked on the other stream, I said, do we believe that everything stops at Big Jook as it pertains to Yo Gotti possibly getting away from all of this stuff? Don't know.
With CMG. Govan had a direct conflict with the life and the legacy that Thornton built. And then you heard from Cornelius Smith. And that's where it got interesting. He told you that he met Govan in 2021 through a friend named Bobby Carter. The relationship started out as transactional.
Very, very possible because we're trained and we're brought up to say fuck the police. We're trained to be opposite, be adversaries of the police. I grew up the same way, you know, like not liking them, not fucking with them. I told stories of one of my closest old friends. His father was a detective, and I grew to have so much respect for him. He was like a second father. And that was one of the initial things that taught me, like, why do I put them all in the same bucket? Then, of course, over life, my experiences, I've had police encounters, some good, some bad. I had some very, very good where it's just like, hey, man, like, I want to see you out here get hurt, man. Just slow the fuck down. It's like, damn, thank you. You know, you really could have just gave me a joint for doing 98 into 60. You know what I'm saying? I've encountered both, good and bad. You just can't put them all in the same bucket. That's just not the way to live. But if you have a black police officer that was doing his job, what wasn't doing anything wrong, and he had his life taken, it's just a human that lost their life. They just happened to be in it. It shouldn't be about the fact that you're a police officer. Like, we shouldn't say, all right, you shot somebody for no reason. That's not cool. But is the person that you shot a cop? All right, we're gonna be quiet then. That's fucked up. You know, that's honestly one of the catches that Rodney Hinton Jr. is about to face. You saw some of my confliction when we started covering that trial. It's on pause right now as far as the updates until the next date. But one of my conflictions is like, damn, a father to lose his son over a possible alleged bad shooting. You see red, and it's going to be an eye for almost any father or mother, right? But the person allegedly that Rodney Hinton mowed down had nothing to do with the situation. That was just a person out there on the block doing his job, and he lost his life that day. So how could I not be sympathetic to that person and his family? You see what I'm saying? We trapped inside of some of these fucking cliches and some of these teachings. And it's sad at times, but we're going to continue to speak against them. I'm going to do my part.
Cornelius Smith had a pill problem. Govan provided the pills. But then one day, Govan asked him if he wants to make some money. Smith told you that, of course, he has a drug problem. He has 5 kids. He needs money. So, of course, he wants to make money. And he tells you about several discussions between Govan, himself, Justin Johnson, and Jook. He tells you that at one of those meetings, Govan told him that there were multiple bounties on PRE artists, including Mr. Thornton, but also Paper Route Wood. He told you that on one night, he was given guns by Govan. He was given guns by Govan to attempt a hit on Paper Route Wood. He told you that out of the multiple bounties on PRE artists, Thornton's was the highest. Thornton's was $100,000. So of course he jumped on the opportunity. And Smith told on himself. He told you everything. He told you chapter and verse, who was in the room and what was said. And if you're thinking about a conspiracy, who would you want to hear from the most? A co-conspirator. Someone that is in the room, someone who can tell you what happened, what was agreed to, what went on. So after he found out about what this bounty was, he talked about November. He talked about how him and Justin knew about a turkey drive that PRE hosts every November. He told you that there were a few days where they went hunting.
How sad is it also where it's you laying and catching the guy during a what people would say is a good deed, a turkey drive. Like
they knew that there was going to be multiple days where the turkey drives were happening. On the 16th, him and Justin Johnson went out hunting. Wasn't successful. On the 17th, he told you that Justin picked him up from his father's house. He told you that when he picked him up from his father's house, Smith and Johnson went hunting again. That when they were at the intersection of Lamar and Airways, they saw Dolph's car drive past. Earlier this week,
that does sound like the fucking Pac shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Orlando out there, and them niggas is spinning. They want revenge. They looking for Pac. And then, you know, the girls that hang out the suburbs, oh, there goes Pac. Like they see the car. Oh, there they at. And then they, you know, they didn't have the exact location on Dolph. Like you outside hunting because you know about the turkey drive. But then the fucking fatigue vet goes by and it's like, there you go. Damn. And it's like, once again, the vet being wrapped, the distinctive colors of the car. And I'm not even sitting here trying to say, damn, Dolph, you could have saved yourself, because you never know. If it didn't happen that day, it could have just happened a different day. You know, obviously, Dolph is in his hometown moving around as if he's Dolph, right? You know, he had his boy with him, his shooter with him. We saw how brave that guy was. He did his best to protect Dolph and himself, but wow. And another reason why they say just leave the places where you're the most famous, where you grew up. Leave the places where you know. But you're walking around not knowing that there's people hunting for you, that people want to kill you though. Like if Dolph knows that there's people trying to literally hunt him, is he at the cookie store? No, I don't think so. I think he knows that he got beef. I think he knows he got people that don't like him. You know what I'm saying? But is he thinking that does a Dolph here at a time like this? Yo, there's money on my head, like, and there's real people that's putting up and alleged real crash outs that got the money. I don't think so. I don't think so. But
I told you that most Memphians know Adolph Horton's car when they see it. And Cornelius Smith told you the same thing. They knew who it was when he drove past. So they followed the car. They followed the car all the way to Makita's, and at Makita's, they pulled around, parked the white Mercedes that they were in, got out, gunned down Adolph Horton, and killed him. They got back in the white Mercedes, and they left, but not before Marcus Thornton shot Cornelius Smith. Smith also told you that they ditched the car. He told you that they ditched the car on Bradley Street, across the street from the defendant's home. He told you that once they left the car there, they went to 2-lane apartments. At 2-lane apartments, that's where they switched clothes. That's where they had their wound kits. And that's where Cornelius realized that he left his phone. He left his phone and he needed a ride. So he used his co-conspirator's phone, Justin Johnson, to contact his girlfriend to pick him up. And you heard that from Angela Arnold too. She told you that she got some communication from a phone number that she did not recognize, a phone number that was not her boyfriend's. It was not Cornelius's. He told her to pick her up, and she did. When she picked him up.
So that's how she got into the mix. We're gonna let that go. The rest of that. I don't know what's up with some of these guys always leaving their phones behind. Was it the queso shooting, or was it the alleged murder for hire for D-Thang in Chicago? Was it that one? One of them. Another one where there was just like the cell phone was left in it and DNA on the cell phone. Y'all always leaving y'all, so y'all be bringing y'all cell phones at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck what y'all do to try to cover up your crimes. Like, I want you guys caught, but y'all stay leaving y'all cell phones behind, and then you call this girl for a ride, just like Queso called his father. Now I have a reason to lean on this girl. I want to know: are you the getaway driver? Like, you telling me you just got a call to pick somebody up and you didn't know? But for all I know, you was a getaway driver, or for all I know, you know more. I'm gonna lean on you regardless. I'm gonna put your ass on that stand. You're gonna tell me everything you fucking know if you want to go back home. Queso's father, the girlfriend right now, Queso's father, to me, at least from what we're seeing in this trial, was way more guilty as far as being involved in breaking laws. Like, he burnt the clothes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, than this girl. This girl could have just been minding her business, get a call, come pick her up. Now, did you know? That's a problem within itself. If you pick up some guys that hop in your back seat all frank, they're like, go, 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 go. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? And if you have any knowledge of what just happened, by law, they want you to call the police. They want you to call the police like, hey, I just want to let you know my boyfriend just hopped in the back seat of my car. He had a rifle on him. I seen the gun smoking. They were screaming at me. They got blood on their pants. It looks like they just shot some shit up. That's what they really, that's the law, right? like notify. But then if you know about it and you don't say nothing and all that, like, yeah, your ass is gonna get leaned on. You're gonna get leaned on. But all right. Rest in peace once again to Dolph and all those affected. Let's move on to Jay-Z. And we're gonna start with Rivera, who's been having these Art of Dialogue videos roll out. Let me scroll down and give a like to the Art of Dialogue, who's doing an incredible job. They're almost at 1 million subscribers, and you see I'm subscribed. They're almost at 1 million subscribers. Lance Rivera reveals truth about claim that Jay-Z stabbed him, which led to Jay-Z's arrest.
Speaking of Dame, how you feel about the financial situation he in right now?
I think that Jay-Z, again, I hate to keep bringing your name up, but I think it's some sucker shit. I think it was some sucker shit when they excluded him from the history of who he is and Rockefeller and that Brooklyn Museum. I think it was unjust. You know what I'm saying? I think that regardless to whatever, yeah, Dame got his money. He probably did some things that he did with his money that was, you know what I'm saying? But nah, he not supposed to be in the situation that he's in. You know what I mean? And I'm not telling you, I don't know what happened. I do know that there's other people in your life
you know you don't know.
Hold DeHaven responsible. Like I told DeHaven personally, I said maybe it's because you might have wanted to harm Jay-Z physically that he don't with you. I don't think that that's the case with him and Dame. I don't think he slept with his wife. I don't think he disrespected his mama, his kids. So I think that somebody manipulated him into the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I think it's some sucker shit, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's not you can't be the godfather of my kids. I can't have helped you because he has to know that Dame has helped him. You know what I mean? I don't give Dame the credit and all of the credit. I say I did a job, Big did a job, right? And I equate them to me and Big. And I know that Big would have never, I don't care what, he would have never left me in the position that Jay has left Dame in. You know what I'm saying? He would have never done it. And that's why I said, niggas ain't honorable. Niggas talk that honorable shit. Niggas talk that shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, B. Like, and if everybody who wants to come out and speak on his behalf, don't do it because he's not going to take care of you. They're not going to help you in any kind of way defending them anymore. They've done it. They've shown who they are.
I want to hold it there now before we get into the whole stabbing thing. Or do we even really care about the stabbing thing? I might leave the stabbing thing alone because what Un says there, he says later on in the interview, I skimmed it. He says Jay didn't stab me, but he kind of stuttered around it a little bit, right? Jay's even rapped about stabbing Un. I'm pretty sure we all always felt like Jay did that, whether it was over women, whether it was over music being leaked, whatever it was over. We all feel like he did that. Um, he got off pretty much, right? And they've had a rift between each other over it ever since. Would make sense, right? But this whole thing about Jay and Dame and it being some sucker shit, I do feel like there's always going to be or should be some level of connection between the two based on what they did and what they accomplished. But were there certain lines crossed that you just can't return from? This is one that I found. I wanted to see just if I could find one, right? Where I know that if it was me, you can't return from. If it was me. All right. Now, peep this article. Let me go on the smaller screen. Dame Dash reveals the nail in the coffin in his relationship with Jay-Z. Okay. And this is going to be when he's talking about Jay-Z working with R. Kelly on the Best of Both Worlds. On Sunday, December 22nd. Keep an eye on that. This past December, right? YouTube channel Art of Dialogue premiered the latest segment of the interview with Rockefeller Records co-founder Dame Dash. During the one-on-one interview, Dame talked about his soured relationship with Hov. Dame claimed his rift with Jigga became untenable when Jay-Z started working with R. Kelly on 2002's Best of Both Worlds and 2004's Unfinished Business. Okay. All right, let's watch a little bit of this.
Speaking of Puffy, right? You think it's a rap for him?
I don't know. I got to see them tapes. Pause. Like everybody quiet. So I don't know. But I can't. I don't know anything about those situations at all. You know what I mean? But if any one of those situations are true, he got problems. But until then, he's gonna have to do a bid before he goes to court. So whatever the accusations are, if he's innocent, I would be sick in jail for being innocent to have to wait for a trial. That's fucked up. But if he's not innocent, can he get out of there? I don't know. I don't know what I feel like, he's on the RICO. So that means a criminal enterprise. I haven't seen the enterprise that they're accusing yet. So I'm sure there's going to be a superseding indictment and that'll have more names on it. And then that's when I don't know. Like, I don't really know what do you really know what he's on trial for? Sex trafficking. So I don't know what that looks like. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I don't know what the fuck he could be doing with baby oil. Like, I don't know. Pause. So, these are very weird accusations. Things that if I did know about, I'd probably be guilty of as well. I have no idea about that shit.
I mean, if they got R. Kelly in prison for what he did, what they're accusing Diddy of is a lot worse.
But there's like tapes of R. Kelly, and I mean, I don't know, man. Like I said, all that shit, for some reason, all the people that are under the gun right now were people that I did not fuck with. I mean, let's just put that out there. So Harvey Weinstein, me and him did not get along. Me and Puff, we were not, we always had respect, but we were in two different complete hemispheres of reality at all times. But I still had a lot of respect for what he was doing as far as music and being relevant. But I was like, I would not do it that way. And with me and homie, R. Kelly, like not one of those people could you say I'm aligned with at all? Like I might have started cool with him and ended up not cool with him because you understand what I'm saying? Like that's like 4 or 5 in a row of people that I was like not cool with that are under the gun.
Was you and R. Kelly ever cool at any point?
Why? He's an R&B. I'm not an R&B. No disrespect to R&B because I'm cool with Tyrese. But we have these things. Like sometimes I'll be like, "That's that R&B shit you doing." You know what I mean? I'm not R&B like that. I wasn't hanging out with no R&B. I just couldn't. I think the fact that Jay was fucking with him is what used to blow my mind more than anything. Like I don't know why he wants to with this guy so much. Like why? I just never understood it. So I think it was just more me feeling awkward about the fact that I had to be around him on some level, but I wasn't around him. Like I never was around him. Like even when they're not guilty, I wasn't like I came for the video. I was out. I wasn't a guy, and I think like we took pride, at least I did, and my crew, in not hanging out with famous people or famous men. Like it was gonna be, if you was gonna be famous, it had to be a female. But I wasn't trying to be up under no other famous dudes. I didn't think that was like, I'm not gonna hang out with you just because you're famous. And I don't like dudes that much. So I was like, why would I have no reason. Like, what am I gonna do? Go to the studio and hang out with him? Like, I don't do that.
Right. Did Jay know about what he did to Aaliyah?
Did he know that everybody knew R. Kelly married Aaliyah at 15? Everybody knew that. So was the conversation had like, yo, how you gonna go and do something with this dude? Hell yeah, that conversation was had. Hey, you think I'm soft? Pause, like I'm punk? So that didn't happen. I was like, yo, how you gonna do a project with my motherfucking girl? We had the conversation. Why would you still with someone that raped your girl? Would you still do anything with that person? So why would anyone expect me to? But that's
So that's kind of a point of no return type of thing. First of all, it better be 1000% true. Now imagine if you're Jay. Like, I don't know the dynamic of that conversation if it happened, but I'll just say hypothetical. Imagine if you're Jay. I said, hold on to the month and the time of this interview, December. Go pull up when the Diddy and Jay-Z civil lawsuit about that alleged minor dropped, December. So Art of Dialogue, they're in their content mode, they're doing their job, right? Jay-Z and Diddy pop up in this lawsuit, this heinous, disgusting, nasty, heart-dropping lawsuit. And Art of Dialogue hits up who? Dame, you want to do an interview? He says, sure. And he has a conversation like this. And he's talking about things like, I had a conversation once upon a time with Jay-Z about like, yo, why would you rock with R. Kelly? Because you know that he's R-ing Aaliyah based on their ages. Now, if I'm Jay-Z, if I'm saying, first of all, once again, that better be a true conversation that really happened. If it didn't, you definitely are on the never list, ever. But let's say hypothetically it did, right? That conversation did. Now, if it did, it would make Jay kind of whack. Actually, it would make him worse than whack. It would make him nasty. That somebody is pointing out to you, your homie, your best friend, like, yo, you know, my girlfriend, you know, was messed over by the guy you doing an album with, right? But at the same time, you're still doing this. If we have any type of alliance or string together at all, I wasn't R. Kelly. Like, what I did morally by doing an album with this guy is whack as shit. 100%. But it's not like you're accusing me of being R. Kelly. I'm not the one that did something to Aaliyah while she was underage. That's not the accusation that you're bringing to my face. And on top of that, you happen to be doing this interview while I'm about to fight for my freedom. Well, even though it wasn't criminal charges, but I'm about to fight for my whole livelihood as far as people believing that I allegedly did something with Diddy towards a minor. So if I was in those shoes and I had somebody put a disgusting fake ass accusation on me, and then a close friend or brother of mine from the past, 2 weeks later after my fucking civil suit dropped, did an interview talking about I was allegedly around R-ing stuff in the past, I would look at that person like, thank you. I appreciate you. It's all good. I know where we at. And how am I going to feel when I beat this shit? It's going to be fuck you times 10 as well. Now, when I hear about your shit, yo, Dame just lost this lawsuit, lost this, just lost that, lost his assets, lost his studio, lost this or whatever. I'm not going to necessarily cheer for it, but I'm like, why the fuck some of y'all got me in the headlines talking about I should help him? Help what? Did he help me? Even with his words, did he help me? That's just how it goes. Like, there's all these different reasons why we keep looking at this situation and saying, like, yo, why is everybody like the Riveras of the world turn around and say it's whack that Dame allegedly is down and Jay-Z is up? Them two people, they split for a fucking reason. If we're to you help the people that you're with. Every once in a while, you're going to do a good deed and you might see a homeless man on the street and it's like, yo, here's some money or here's some food or here's some help, right? But as far as people that are actively out there on their grind, like a Dame Dash claims to be, he does interviews now arguing that I don't even like for people to say Jay-Z should help me. I'm a man. I do things myself. And on top of that, I'm good. I'm on the ranch right now. I'm on the rapid water rafting excursions with my family. I'm good. I'm having a good time. And I'm about to get my teeth fixed. Why the fuck? If we're like this, I'm all the way over here, you all the way over there. We been fell out. You did things, I did things. We hate each other. Cool. why the fuck are y'all counting my pockets and y'all not even involved in our relationship talking about, okay, Dame's having problems. You're still a billionaire. Help him. Motherfucker. How about I send you to go help everybody that you're doing better than that you had a fallout with? Does that fucking make sense? The history is the history. The history is possibly one of the reasons why Dame still has a ranch and a family office, because Dame was able to come off of that whole Rockefeller movement, have money, have things, have celebrity, have a name, have power, meet people, have a network, and continue to do things for him and his family. Like he swears, he tells us he's all good. That all spawns from his Rockefeller days. And he was a part of that as well. Get a man his fucking credit. But stop fucking acting like enemies or people that don't fuck with each other are supposed to help each other. What world do y'all live in? You don't want to know what that is? You lied. He really did stab you, allegedly. That's why you're saying that, because anytime you get a chance to mar Jay-Z, you will. And you want to know what? If somebody stabbed me, I'd feel away for the rest of my life too. But at least I interpret it. The fuck out of here. It's such a weak thing. And even Dame doesn't like it. So I don't get it. Even Dave's like, yo, don't have that man tell that man he needs to help me. I don't want that man help. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Anyway, I got Clone in the thumbnail. Let's go to Clone. Let's go to Clone. A little bit of battle rap, people. A little bit of battle rap. Let me go on the big screen so we can read this together. So I saw this on OTF site. It says almost 2 years straight being on non-report and having fines paid off. All right, so he's talking about ever since going to court and fighting off his charges and everything. First, my co-defendants pop up. Yeah, we saw that. Interrogation video resurfaces. We saw that. Now, all of a sudden, my probation officer leaves me a message about something coming across his desk, and I need to come see him. I said I wasn't leaving battle rap, but motherfuckers playing a whole different game out here. Y'all got it. Peace. Well, if Clone wanted to keep battle rapping after the first 2 call outs, right? You could say, well, the third one, who knows? It sounds like when he wrote this, he don't even know what it's about. He's assuming it's a bad thing about his PO calling him in to have a conversation about something that came across his desk. Could be some rap lyrics, could be being somewhere that maybe his parole terms he's not supposed to be. Who knows, right? But he doesn't, at the time of typing this, doesn't know what it is yet. So hopefully, for the sake of him, maybe he's jumping the gun a little bit. But there's an overall bigger topic here. And with all due respect, it does apply to, like, let's say, a Adi Boom or a Clone or a Bad News, respectfully. And let's say you could pick out of any of those situations, and you, from the outside looking in, could determine any of those guys to say they did or they did not do something that you feel is a violation of street code. And y'all determine that, right? I'm not here for that. But the accusations, and once you have a majority like that against you, it just becomes a dangerous environment. Like, I'm just not the type of person that likes to be somewhere where I'm not welcome. I'm not like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know your opponent will still battle you and pick up a check. Maybe a league will book you for the look or for the controversy. And I'm speaking to, like, let's say a Boom, a Clone, or a Bad News, right? Maybe the league will book you because, it's going to be views. It's an attraction. They're not the ones that are necessarily the direct target. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe there is a small fan base that still is in your comments saying it's all good, Clone, or Bad News, or Adi Boom, looking forward to your next work or whatever. But the majority, you guys see the vibe. You guys see the response. You guys see the bloggers, some battlers. You guys see a lot of fans in your comment. You see the majority. I don't like being places where I'm not welcome. It's never worth it for your peace of mind or for your safety. I told y'all a story about when me and Uncle Rod got into it. I said, he wasn't aware of Boom saying my name as if he and I was still in talks. Well, this is what Uncle Rod told me. He was like, no, Boom told me. Like, yeah, I said, I ain't no. So I don't know if anybody using my name, but no, there's no cosign over here as far as where we at right now. Because where we at right now, some things came in my direction. I was just like, you lying to me. And all, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I don't need to get into that story. But I told Rod and I told y'all publicly, when people have those accusations, even if the accusations are false, you bring a danger to me too. You never know if somebody believes this and wants some get back, or somebody heckles you. Or I also gave the example of, you could do something to somebody. You could be on stage rapping your ass off, and somebody in the crowd, drunk or playing around, just says, "Hey, you snitch," or laughs a little bit. You look in the crowd, you want to jump into the crowd and beat the shit out of them, and then you get arrested for assault. Now, I'm not the type of person to tell a man where to eat and how to eat. I'm not really like that type of guy. But Clone, you just typed it out yourself. And when you put "y'all got it" and the peace sign, that actually would be a smart move, respectfully. Respectfully, because an arena such as battle rap, which focuses on toxicity just as much as it focuses on the actual rapping at some times of the year, even more, that's a fact. All they're going to do is play with your name. And then it's just about waiting for something more serious to happen. Real shit. Real shit. I'm saying this on some man shit, on some more like, y'all got to take care of yourself sometimes by getting the fuck away from a toxic environment. If somebody or something or an arena or a place continues to show you that your name is getting played with at that level, I'm talking about people die over the word snitch, whether they feel like they did it to somebody or they feel like somebody is calling them that inaccurate. Look at this shit right now with Whack 100 and what's his name? What is it? Osama or whatever. Dude that be running around and rapping with Lil Durk and shit. Like, I believe him. He's like, I'm gonna put that. Like, what Whack did kind of was whack, because he don't got no paperwork. He's just sitting there saying, "Yo, at the end of the day, you caught this case with a switch. Why are you home?" And he's just calling him a snitch, calling him a snitch, calling him a snitch. And Osama's out there like, "Yo, where's the paperwork?" Or what, you know what I'm saying? And I think that he would. I really think he would shoot at Whack 100 over that shit if he had the opportunity. I could just hear it in their interaction on DJ Academic's platform. I know Academics upload that shit talking about we got content, but no, somebody could literally die behind that shit. And it's no different here in battle rap. Like, if you feel that you're in an environment that's playing with you, and it's like, first the co-defendants pop up. Well, Clone would say that that's for a particular reason, or hating on him, or because you know what I'm saying? Interrogation video, he says resurfaces. He doesn't say surfaces, he says resurfaces. Okay, that means that somebody might be out to get you then you say your POs. Now you're talking about your freedom once again. Your freedom once again. So there's this thing called insanity, where you continue to do the same thing and expect a different outcome. So, Clone, by your own words here, you would be insane to hang around an environment that's getting you into this type of shit from your wording. That would be insane. Okay? Look at Piper Boy. Shout out to Piper Boy. I don't remember, no exaggeration, I don't remember the last time I cut on a Piper Boy video and he didn't start out the first 3 minutes of it saying saying bad news told everything, 100% accuracy, Officer T Ward. I only know that shit because of Piper Boy. Like, he drummed it into my memory. Hold on, wait a minute. Officer told that O's knowledge, clone O's knowledge afoot. And I can't. I'll see a title from Piper Boy, and if it's like something like, "Oh, I need to check on that." Piper Boy reaction to Hitman versus Murder Mook face off. All right, let me see what the bloggers are saying about the face off, because I'm about to cover this topic in a day or two too. I want to see what some of my peers are saying. Click play. Let me see what Piper Boy is going to say about Murder Mook and Hitman. And the first 3 minutes, clone O's knowledge afoot. Bad news told everything. Officer T Ward, he ran down on me and asked him to turn off his body camera. I only know this shit because of Piper Boy's blog, and he does it every fucking video that he drops. Every video. That's the arena that you're in, Clone. That's the arena that you're in, Bad News. And dare I say, Adi Boom, he fought the accusations publicly and privately. He fought them. You know, he did the thing when he went to his lawyer, the fake video. He spoke to certain people behind the scenes saying certain things. And, You know, he did the virtual battle. I think he also battled. Did he battle Enes in person? Like he fought. He did the 15 minutes of fame interview. He fought it, and then rightfully so, I think he gave up with that fight and said, "I'm all the way over here." And when's the last time y'all seen Adi Boom? When's the last time the battle rap culture had an opportunity to fuck with Adi Boom or violate his probation or drag his name through the mud like the way that would actually affect him? When's the last time he said, "I gotta pay some bills, I'm gonna do it with battle rap"? Adi Boom was actually the smartest in this shit and said, "Y'all got it." The same way Clone just tweeted right there, "Y'all got it, peace sign." Adi Boom did that for real. He said, "Peace." That's a smart move. If y'all gonna treat me like this, talk to me like this, act like this towards me, have these type of comments about me, have these fucking Piperboy intros about me, leagues are gonna look at me a certain way. People's got that used to fuck with me, don't fuck with me no more. I gotta stand up here in front of these rappers and be called a snitch, which is something that when I get off that fucking stage will follow me through the streets. I'm cool because this shit can escalate. It's already a internet viral thing, which puts me in danger one way or another, whether somebody does something to me or I do something to somebody. All it takes is one person across the line and you feel like, I'm tired of this shit. Once now, like staying in that toxic environment don't make sense to me. That's the insanity. That's the insanity. So Clone, I don't wish you to go anywhere that you feel doesn't benefit you. You know what I'm saying? I don't. But when I read you say this, I think if that's what your heart is telling you, you should follow it, because shit gets worse than your PO contacting you talking about, "Come see me." We know in the streets what these type of allegations and people talking like this and moving like this and blogging like this, we know where it leads one way or another. And use a street nigga, you should know that too. So protect your life, protect your freedom, protect your sanity, and maybe you should leave it alone. Respectfully, that is like man advice. That's not no hating advice. That's man advice based on your own words right here. Y'all got it. I'd rather see that tweet one day than wake up in here like, "Yo, guess what happened? Some wild shit. Somebody's in jail. Somebody got hurt." Because that's when everybody wants to do the fucking sob story, right? Then it's too late. All right. What do we got next? Tyler Perry. What the fuck is going on with Tyler Perry? Monique is on his heels, B. I ain't gonna lie. Monique is an applied pressure type of person too.
The biggest entertainers in the world is Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry told a lie on me. And that lie cost me 12 years of my career. 12. And I know that you work for that man. But as I told you before, and I'm going to say it again, until he fixes it, I will not stop, because that's how the monster is created. We're too afraid. We're too scared. We're too fearful that you're going to take something from me. So I'm just not going to say anything. Harvey Weinstein is where? He's in jail. Now that's been going on for decades, but everybody said, let it go. Don't say nothing, which allowed that man to do more damage to women over the decades. As long as I can help it, I'm saying, Tyler Perry, you will not do this to another as long as I can help it, because you told a lie and you feel like you have the God complex. So I ain't got to fix it. Either you'll fix it in life or you'll be dealt with in death. It's totally up to you, but I'm not going nowhere. Oprah, I'm not going anywhere until y'all take accountability and fix it.
I see you, Capo. Capo says Monique has a point. MSM says, I've been Team Monique when Steve Harvey said pick money versus. I hated that Steve Harvey shit. We all did. I see what he was trying to do, but it was just, your message is still not the way we. No. All right. One thing that I did grab as well, just some backstory when she talks about you did what you did. There's always been talk of there's receipts of this, and I don't know if it happened multiple times, but this is one quick one that I found online real quick. As far as like, what did Tyler Perry say? What did he do?
You told David when he said his experience was wonderful, you said that was not your experience. And the question I would have, what did you experience with Monique and or I that made your interaction with us displeasurable? Especially
I see exactly where you're going. What made my interaction displeasurable is to have to try to navigate between Precious, Lee, Monique not wanting to do any national press without getting paid, having to navigate through all of that. That's where my problem was.
But Tyler, this is where we are though. I'm talking in real time. But when you understand, because you're again speaking about other entities and components besides Monique. What we're saying is what made it this but what I'm saying to you is you told David when he said his experience was wonderful, you said that was not your experience. And the question I would have, what did you experience with Monique and or I that made your interaction with us displeasurable? Especially
I see exactly where you're going. What made my interaction displeasurable is to have to try to navigate between Precious, Lee, Monique.
So he's being kind of interrogated there. Now, let me start by saying once again, yes, we are in the year of the lawsuits. 2025 has been up for lawsuits. When we get to the end of the year, I will be doing the top 5 most ridiculous lawsuits of the year. I will be doing that. Monique is really making it clear. She doesn't have to say the words when she continues to say, I've lost 12, 13 years of my life. That's millions of dollars out of my family's pocket. You have to make that right. Do you believe you should be compensated? She answers that, right? It's clear. Why she hasn't filed a suit yet, maybe she can't. Or maybe she feels like the basis of it isn't what she would want it to be. This is more of a moral thing and a principle thing, and she would rather him just fix it behind the scenes, not necessarily a legal lawsuit thing. Then, of course, it is Tyler Perry, and you do have to spend God knows how much for the next 1, 2, 3 years fighting Tyler Perry, the multi-billionaire, whatever, right, legally with this type of claim. So, do I feel like this would be a frivolous lawsuit claim in the year of lawsuits if she went down that road? Not necessarily. I'm going to tell you why I'm conflicted on this one. 50 Cent once had a quote about this. They asked him, and 50 Cent sides up to Tyler Perry, not just because I think he looks up to him a little bit as a black mogul, but also because of the whole studio thing and moving through Hollywood. Tyler Perry is a guy to get along with if you're going to be in that arena, just like a Monique, right? So I did see a comment once upon a time. It's like, of when they asked 50 about Monique and Tyler Perry, it's like, well, did he exactly say don't book her, don't work with her, etc.? And 50 was like, but it's Tyler Perry, so not saying the opposite is just as powerful. And it's like, there lies the issue. If I get up here and say, let me pick a battle rap, Murder Mook. Murder Mook is one of the hardest battle rappers to work with, right? But then Murder Mook continues to go on to be booked on URL, TBL, whatever, right? Especially if URL is a bigger platform than RBE, right? You can't substantiate that I blackballed him or that my comments. I guess Mook could say you saying that stopped, I don't know, Trap House from booking me, like, you know what I'm saying, like whatever, right? But it's not the same as if Tyler Perry says it. Okay, if I am like really a big gatekeeper in Hollywood or in battle, and I am a gatekeeper in battle rap, but if I'm able to stop you indirectly from earning on other platforms, it may not be purposeful blackballing. I may not have picked up the phone and said, Murder Mook is arrogant, hard to work with. I'm just saying, I'm just making this up. Arrogant, hard to work with ass person. You know what I'm saying? That was my experience of him, right? If I'm saying that from a Tyler Perry seat in Hollywood and then everybody else backs off of him, right? I did do something to him, whether I did it purposeful or not. You see what I'm saying? And there could be some liability and some culpability there. Now, with Tyler Perry, to his credit, now it seems like what he was saying or the things that he said publicly or even behind the scenes was more so about his dealing as it relates to the movie Precious or whatever with Monique, and he should be able to voice that. No, but if it affects me, I have a claim. Now, I do remember also there was an example that Monique broke down. I forget if it was on Shannon Sharp's show or a different show about her having conversations with Kevin Hart. And she was supposed to be doing something with Kevin Hart, like a show or a movie or something like that. And Kevin Hart was right there, like, I got you. We go, I'll do this, whatever. And then things happen behind the scenes, and all of a sudden, Kevin Hart withdrew. Like, nah, I can't do this, or no, I'm good, or all of a sudden can't get in touch with him no more. You gotta speak to, and I get word that he gotta go a different direction. He can't be involved with that at this time. And that is a reality. You know what I'm saying? Like people will side up to look at Colin Kaepernick. Okay. You don't think that there's a team out there that can benefit from him as a quarterback? Sure, there are. But some of the owners allegedly sided up together, like, stay away. Okay. So if this was super simple, super duper simple, and it never is. If it was super duper simple, you know what I would love to see? Not going to happen. But Monique, I'm not going to give you an apology because I felt like you're a difficult person. And if you ask my opinion from the outside looking in, I do think Monique is a difficult person, personality wise. I do think that that's her. I think that's another reason. Watch this. Why she over promotes how submissive she is in her relationships with like her husbands or her boyfriends. I think she over promotes that because she's always carried the reputation of trying to be an alpha woman amongst a bunch of men and being difficult and being sometimes overly aggressive. Now, ain't nothing wrong with a powerful black woman, right? But if you're doing it in a manner where you're stepping on everybody's toes and over asserting yourself, that's why I always felt like she always promotes that. Like, no, I'm submissive. I'm submissive. I'm submissive. I'm submissive. I'm submissive. Why do you keep trying to prove to the whole world how submissive you are? Right? Because we see opposite in your actions and how you walk through life and how your dealings and how people speak about you. Right? But I could be wrong. It was just an observation. Point being, though, a dope outcome would be if I'm Tyler Perry, your reputation, how I feel about you, and my personal interactions is that you're hard to work with. I'm not giving you a public apology, because I didn't offend you publicly. You know, I didn't disrespect you publicly. I didn't say anything inaccurate publicly. If that's how the cookie really crumbles there. But what I could do is I could say, let me understand how I directly impacted you. And then you give me, for example, the Kevin Hart situation. Kevin Hart followed you. He didn't want to fuck with me because the news of me and you broke. And he don't want to step on your toes in Hollywood. Yo, Kev, blah, 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 blah. You know what, Monique? They'll hold this $2.5 million. Neither one of us will ever say anything about this publicly again. I do understand how my voice and my power stopped one or two people from working with you at that time. I got confirmation on that. I do believe that Kevin Hart pulled out of that situation because of me. All right, cool. And that 2.5 to him, it's not even like, it's Tyler Perry. It's the same way they just be like, oh, Jay-Z didn't give 4,800 to his cousin. That's essentially like $1 to him. Well, him giving Monique a quick 2.5 million and saying, here, because I know that Kevin Hart situation is real. I do believe that. Here you go. And then, but it's probably not that simple. And shit, Monique talking like she might want the shit that Usher chick wanted. So you never know, man. You never know. All right, I want to say this real quick. I see the headlines everywhere. I also saw it in Checks and Balances. It's worldly news. It's worldly news. So let's just touch on it real quick. Target CEO is stepping down as sales continue to plunge due to the black boycott. Breaking Target CEO Brian Cornell is stepping down as sales continue to sink. Black consumers flex their power with a boycott led by Pastor Jamal Bryant that shook the retail giant. Billions lost, confidence gone, the leadership forced to change. The message is clear. When we move together, we move markets. Imagine if that could really happen in battle rap or some shit like that, right? Nah, yo, you guys will go to hell and back over Ghost, right? And it won't, and then people will still be on the next cars. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't stand on shit. Y'all are never gonna move in unison. The battle rappers are not gonna really ever do a strike. They're just gonna talk. Anyway, if you got a thing to you, dude, I don't know. Am I reaching by saying you might have a racist bone in you? I don't know. That might be a reach. It's definitely being considered. But even if you don't, you've made some alleged bad decisions that stirred up a big piece of your consumer base, which is the black community. And then all you need is the right leaders to push people in the right directions, right? To say like, yo, we ain't with this, like Pastor Jamal Bryant. And here you go, billions of dollars. And Target had to make a decision. Step down my ass. Ain't no step downs in situations like this. We just lost billions of dollars behind some of your decisions. Okay. So let's see some of these decisions. Key issues at play. So the DEI movement, we all heard about that, right? DEI rollback sparks massive backlash and boycotts. So Target has significantly scaled back its diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's what DEI stands for. Programs in early 2025, a sharp turn from its previous commitments to exclusivity. This move triggered widespread backlash, especially within the black community and progressive circles. A notable boycott dubbed the 40-day Target Fast was organized by Reverend Jamal Bryant and saw 250,000 pledges. The impact was swift. Target lost approximately $12.4 billion in market value. Not even saying just in retail, but market value. Okay. Also, you have this one, backlash over Pride merchandise changes. Target also forced controversy over its Pride Month merchandise. Following threats and protests, the company made a decision to move or remove certain LGBTQ items in some stores, particularly in rural areas. Many progressives criticize this as caving to hate and undermining support for LGBTQ rights. So you got the blacks and the LGBTQ community on your neck. Okay. And then the sales and the leadership decline, including a 21% drop in net income and a 1.9% dip in comparable sales. The result, longtime CEO Brian Cornell stepping down after 11 years. Damaged the brand, identity, and customer trust. Yeah. I go to Target. I'm a Target guy, man. I fuck with Target. If this is your leadership and these are some of the decisions that you made, they're very, very bad decisions. No boss, no manager, no owner, no CEO makes every perfect, I got a crystal ball decision. But when it's based around inclusion, when it's based around possibly offending or pissing off some of your consumer base based on cultural, religious, type of beliefs or preference beliefs, you go in any of those I'd hate to be in those shoes, to have to sit down and make a decision based on will this or will this not piss off the whole LGBTQ community or our consumer base? Will this or will this not piss off the whole black community that shops here about my decisions around DEI? It sucks. But you better figure it out, and you better put the right team around you to make those right decisions, because what you put on them shelves versus what you take off them shelves, when you start going through the aisles and saying we're removing all of the rainbow t-shirts, somebody's going to have something to say about that. Or when you say we're no longer hiring in a manner that supports DEI, wait, somebody's going to have a problem with that. And now you're stepping down, and now you're going to lose billions of dollars in market value. Market value. So applies post. Hey, black people, if y'all ain't think y'all are powerful, look at this. We don't do this enough. And I'm not even going at Target. I'm a Target supporter. I fuck with Target. But I'm saying in general, there's so many causes out there that are just as significant. Let me not say stronger, because then I'll piss somebody off. I don't want to be the next guy like this having to step down from my podcast. Just as significant as those rainbow t-shirts coming out of the aisles or deciding how you may hire allegedly based within the DEI guidelines or precedents. I think there's a lot of things in this world that are just as significant. And if we came together for those fucking things as well, boy. I wonder if I can find this real quick. What percentage of target customers are African American? I'm curious. I wonder if I can get that. So yeah, are y'all, is that public? Is that public? Oh, that's actually scary. Target customer demographic in-store. According to a demographic breakdown, Target's in-store customers are distributed as follows. White Caucasian is 62%. Hispanic Latino is 16%. African Americans actually is listed here as third, is 14%, and an Asian 7%. Hey, you want me to do something funny? I can get away with this because I'm black. I wouldn't suggest you white folks do what I'm about to do publicly. Okay. Now, tell me what the breakdown is for Walmart. If you're not black, you can't do that right there. They're going to call you racist. Don't do that shit. Let's see if I can get it for Walmart. Can I get it for Walmart? Demographic, according to both of them, Walmart. It's about the same. Interesting, because they be acting people. You know the stereotype that Walmart is hood. We be in there, shower caps and slides and boxes on. Women wearing fucking male boxes and shit. 11 o'clock at night. You get shot in Walmart, but you go into fucking Target and you might get complimentary cheese and crackers. But no, it's similar demographics. Interesting. Okay, so that doesn't really play out, but if that 14% is still capable of moving a 12 point or 12 plus % of your market value, imagine what you white folks could do if you piss off the white folks. That got 62% of your customer base. Oh shit, don't piss them off. I guess that is I said earlier, he got to make a decision, the hard decision. I guess that's the decision he made. Do I piss off the 62% or the 14%? Let's go with the 14%. God damn it, 12% fucking market value loss. Fuck it. Could have been 40%. I still got to step down though, either way. Oh shit. All right. Last but not least, I ain't even gonna sugarcoat this shit. I ain't even gonna ask y'all how y'all feel about this. Fuck that. I ain't even gonna do that. Breaking news. Jake Paul is set to face Tank Davis at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The two sides confirmed on ESPN on Wednesday. The bout is set for November 14th. Well, I guess the only upside is for the last how many months, all these critics and behind the scenes and analysts and people that's tapped in been telling us that Tank is just about retired. He's been telling us that shit too, like he's done, right? So we've been hearing that. That's the only upside. All right, Tank, we get to see you get in the ring a little bit more. We don't feel like you're anywhere near done with your career or ability in the ring, right? Physically, as far as his mental and his family and what he feels like he has to deal with within the boxing arena. It seems like those are the reasons why he wants to step away. So who am I? Hey man, chase your peace. You know what I'm saying? If you're happy, you're happy. If you're set for life, you're set for life. Get away from the toxic shit. The same way I was talking about in my battle rap topic. But if you are going to fucking hang around here, really? Jake Paul? A bag is a bag. A bag is a bag. And this man is over the hill. I don't remember how old Manny Pacquiao is, but even as old as Manny is, I would still rather see this. Because the Jake Paul shit is the clown fest. Even going back to the Tyson's fight, I don't know if both Paul brothers will ever be able to downplay that perception in sports and boxing fans' minds ever. If you guys will ever be able to down, we will always now look at y'all fights with possible clownery, clown shit, fake shit, WWF shit. That's what we're gonna see. Like nobody believes that you get in the ring with a Manny Pacquiao and this is some fake WWF shit going on here. I would have rather saw this. But you got what, a lightweight about to fight a heavyweight and Jake Paul? Tank Davis, like if he retired and then he was older and he came back like a Mike Tyson or Roy Jones or Mayweather to do it, yeah, all right, here's the $50. Let me watch but I know I'm buying the clown show. I know that. Okay, I know that. Mike Tyson and Paul, they convinced me a little bit because of the training videos of Tyson. I said, wait a minute, old ass Mike might knock this nigga out, and maybe he could have, but it was clearly a stage situation with them pulling their punches and bullshit and dragging themselves to a decision. Okay, the Roy Jones one, what was it? Roy and Mike? Was it Roy and Mike? I forget. Who else did I just mention? Mayweather getting in there with some of these fucking. Even Floyd will tell you, why can't I come get a bag? You see all these other people why can't I come pull a bag, pull 10 million out? I get it. And at least y'all are telling me what I'm buying. But no, Tank is too young, too in his prime. And to see him fight a heavyweight and it be this Paul guy, get like, boxing has never came even halfway close to my era. Like who were the top 20 most viewed boxers from, let me start at 99. When was Lewis and Tyson? Was that 99? Or somewhere around? Let me go to 98 just in case. From 1998 through, let me go to 2017. 2017. Let me see if I can get that list. Let me see. Because the golden era been gone. It been dead. You got Floyd, you got Manny Pacquiao, you got Oscar De La Hoya, you got Emmanuel Holyfield, you got Mike Tyson, and now it's dipping into just some of the actual fights, like the Tyson Lewis. You got Marquez was out there, even Maidana, Trinidad was out there, Canelo, Lennox Lewis, Marquez, Maidana, Trinidad. Okay, even a Nassim Hamed would stop the world. You know, the Roy Joneses of the world, the Klitschko brothers, we had it. We had the shit on fucking the Barreras of the world. And shit, give me a Gotti Ward trilogy. Stop the world. Like, there's nothing out there. Tank is like the last. Tank, Crawford, Canelo. Those are like the three people right now that I stop everything for. I got three. No matter what, I don't care who they fight, I want to watch. Those three people. I don't think there's anybody else. I feel like in my golden era boxing, though, I had like 40 of them. Like 40 boxers I would stop and say, I got to watch them this weekend. That shit is dead. Get the fuck out of here. Tank versus Jake Paul. It just is what it is. All right. Let me jump over to the supers, y'all. We got Jay over here. I don't know what that number means. 1111. What's that about? Brick King. What did the 1111 represent? But thank you, Jay, dropping off a big super chat before the stream started at 5:52 a.m. We did get here about 6:02 this morning, 6:03. I was like 2-3 minutes late. Miss Abby's in the building. She says, shout out to all the mods who do a great job. Yes, thank you to all the mods. I really appreciate y'all. I always want to remind y'all too, mods, if you ever feel overwhelmed to the point where you're working more than you're enjoying the podcast and the content, then I will bring more mods on. I need to bring more mods in. I want the mods to not have to be so overwhelmed with them feeling like they're reminding to the chat of how we need to help and the sharing of content and watching people following certain guidelines and rules in the chat and helping people with information, not even the negative stuff, even helping people in the chat with information and no, this was covered here, and no, we're gonna do this, or because y'all are in tune. If you ever feel like you're not able to follow the podcast as much as you are the moderation duties, let me know, man. We could always just bring more mods in to supplement and just grow that out. I want y'all to be able to enjoy y'all time here just as much as anybody else. No Gimmick became a no member. Grab one of the memberships, the new memberships that's out there. I appreciate you, No Gimmick. Welcome to the green team, man. Miss Abby says, give me the loot. Paid involved. Yeah. That was around what, 621. Yeah, we were still in the Young Dolph topic. Miss Abby also drops off a big super chat saying, in the end, it's very sad how this young, talented man lost his life. These other men's lives are done, as they will spend the rest of their lives in prison. Very sad all around. We see the outcome of the lifestyle. It's always one of two places. You got a lot of people right now today plotting crimes, and they think for some reason that they have a 99.9% chance of getting away with it because they have their own approach and tactics. And then you got the whole other thing, the self-snitching thing, where motherfuckers is literally online. Like Q50 was just online talking about alleged shit that he's done. He's got music videos surrounded with hats that you know what I'm saying? Like, you just want the world to know that you're a murderer, allegedly, So I'm cool on that lifestyle. Y'all got it. Thank you, Miss Abby. This was the Tay Smith super earlier. I appreciate you once again, homie. And this was the Craig super chat earlier, I believe. Yeah, we spoke about that one while we was in the middle of the topic. As much as I try to get to these when we're done streaming or done with the topics, every once in a while I will pull them in the middle of the topic, especially if we're watching a video. Because while I'm not in the middle of talking and I'm watching a video, I could look at the chat a little bit more. And if I see a super that comes in that's relevant to the topic, I might spin off in a subtopic. I did that today. So appreciate y'all. Don't think that I'm always going to have to wait until the end. It depends on the flow of things. And yeah, I brought this one up here, but Sniper dropped off a big 10-piece wings, lemon pepper with seasoned fry. I'm ordering. Should I order some Wingstop today now? I just made myself hungry. Sniper dropped off a 10 lemon pepper. You know what I'm saying? Membership gift bag. I appreciate that, homie. Shout out to everybody that's going to catch those 10 memberships. Green team. Gang. Capo says, y'all Bush people every day not doing the free fundamentals that pushes out this content. Y'all need to hit that like. Yeah, don't be a Bush person. Like Capo said, hit the like button. It's very simple. Very simple. Sassy dropped off a gift. Shout out to our member Sassy. Dropped y'all a gift off at 6:50 a.m. Hope somebody caught that one as well. And then 1 minute later, Sassy dropped off another gift for y'all. So who's catching them out there? Who's catching them? Thank you, Sassy. Don Bean says X to the Bush birds. Hold on, I'm not worldly enough for that one. Hold on. What is a bush bird? What's a bush bird? Can refer to different things that in general term. Wild birds in the bush. These include songbirds, game birds. I was looking for slang interpretation of a specific nickname bush. All right, so I couldn't find that on the internet. I was like, damn, did I not know that? Am I out the loop? All right, bush birds. Shout out to Don being in the building. Jay says, Loaded Lux voice. You know what's up when I'm rolling up. You better know it. That was at 6:54. I got you, love. What's with the 1111 number today? What's that about? What are you up to? That's the second joint that I see from you with the 1111. You want some Kendrick shit? What are you doing? That clone segment was fire, ARP. Thank you, Revolutionary. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like when we could do topics like that don't even come off offending. It's very easy to offend somebody that gets called those type of things, bad news or boom. And I'm not even going in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to say, like, I think that this is decent advice to protect your freedom and to protect your safety and to also protect your mental health. Like, just saying it yourself in your tweet. So I appreciate that. Glad y'all rock with that topic. Halliburton here says, let me pay my dues. Super busy day. Great people. Bush baby. Yo, y'all are killing me with the Bush shit. I'm out the loop. Y'all got me. Y'all the real. Shout out to Halliburton, our member in the building. He dropped that off at 7:53. Sounds like he got to cut out and run. And you want to know what? So do I. So I will catch y'all 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, unless there's some crazy super breaking news today. You know how we rock. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. We out.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.